So what is adjustability in hitting? The answer lies within the word, adjustability, your ability to adjust. Most instinctively think about adjusting from fastball to off speed, but I think that mechanically it's a little more complex than that. To me, adjustability is one's ability to hit outside of their mechanics, and I know that might sound counterintuitive, but bear with me. Timing is arguably the most important aspect of hitting, but you and I both know that to be 100% on time 100% of the time is not possible. But can you catch barrels when you're a tick late or just a tick or two early? Just about every kid in America has swung at a curveball down and away, got in the car, and dad says, "What's this butt out, hands out crap? We didn't work on that. Who's teaching you that?" Well, that butt out, hands out swing is just the most extreme form of adjustability. Your body, your brain making subconscious mechanical adjustments in order to hit the ball. So everything from striding closed, leaning or falling over the plate, the top hand releasing to get extra extension, or a broken or bent front leg at contact. These are all things that happen subconsciously during the swing that don't require active thought. So players have two options. You can train the moves out and try to have a perfect and identical swing for every pitch. Or you can use them and learn to control the quote-unquote bad moves and unlock a truly athletic swing.
All right, so we're going to look at Cal here, and keep in mind these are all home run swings, but I just want to put an emphasis on how different all these swings really are. Cal is, surprisingly for a guy with pop, very adjustable, very athletic in his swing, and this is a fantastic example. So he's got a 2-strike count here, and this is clearly a defensive swing, and he clearly got fooled. This is off speed, down and away, left on right, so it's working away from him. And he stays on it, flicks it out to right field for a home run. So watch the lower half here. The hips only ever go down. They sink, 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 and they keep sinking, okay? So about right here is when he probably starts to see spin and knows that he has to really fight to stay closed and try to delay that turn as much as he can. And then he does a great job, yes, staying closed. That's a great block. And you can tell that it was actually an efficient block because he doesn't spin out or stand straight up. He actually continues to sink. The hips keep going down, and that's just excess energy from the block. Just like in his A swing or his regular swing, so to speak, the front foot's going to roll over and he's going to be on his heel after an efficient block. So you might see this and say, well, he didn't really block. This is a bad block. This is a bad swing. Well, he got a good result out of it. This one's a totally different look. This is the heater up and away, and he ends up going Apo Taco, and it's pretty obvious to see the posture is completely different. He's a lot more open on this swing. He's got a lot more weight in the back leg this time. And the posture, I'm sure if we get a side angle, he's leaning back quite a bit. But he does a good job staying on this pitch as well. Now we'll get the righty swing from the side angle so we can see what that lower half is doing. And it's a similar swing to the first clip we saw where the front leg doesn't fully lock out. And he ends up in this bent position. The hips continue to sink. It's a great swing. Couple things to notice. This move is a lot more common in right-handed hitters because you're naturally inclined to, want to get out of that block leg. To start running. So seeing him do this left-handed as well was actually really, really impressive. Another thing you can notice is that the top hand actually stays connected in this swing. Comparing this to the first clip, off speed, down and away, you can obviously just assume that he's a right-handed thrower. He's a lot more top hand dominant in the righty swing. And let me just say that there's a lot of guys out there that truly think and preach that posture and barrel angle are the only things that change based on the height of the pitch. So every pitch in baseball is moving down, with exception to the Tyler Rogers slider. From the time it's released to the time it's either hit or caught, it is on a downwards angle. And especially breaking balls, obviously everything moves down. So this is an adjustment that's made mid-swing without having to adjust his posture or his barrel angle. So yes, obviously down and in, you're going to be the most steep, have the most angle, and up and away is going to be the opposite. You're going to be the most flat. But what this move is doing is it's bringing his torso down so that he doesn't have to make a posture adjustment. He doesn't have to manipulate his barrel to get to a pitch at the bottom. He's using his legs to bring his torso down so he can still be relatively flat through this ball and then proceed to obviously backspin and smoke it.
That is adjustability, but don't get it twisted because anybody with good hand-eye coordination can slap a ball just about anywhere. Becoming adjustable isn't just about making contact. It's not just about making contact when you're off time. It's about taking that ever so important timing piece of the swing, taking that time between launch and contact and stretching it as long as you can without sacrificing power. Now that we have a good understanding of adjustability, then we can better understand the other core principles of the swing. Direction, bat path, posture, rhythm, and sequencing all tie in to adjustability and increasing margin of error in your swing.
All right, so to recap, I want to make this really clear. I am not advocating for or against any specific mechanical things. I just think that the broader hitting conversation is a lot of my way or the highway and not a lot of listening and trying to learn from other people and what they might have experienced. And I think that's especially relevant in youth baseball because I feel like universally there's been a much more mechanical and methodical approach to training at a much younger age. A lot of kids are specializing in baseball at a younger age as well, so quitting all the other sports and just selling out on baseball. I was the same way. I literally didn't play anything other than baseball, but kids nowadays are learning to swing and learning to throw before they've really learned how to move. And what I mean by that is I think it's a lot more common for people, especially young kids, to be put into sort of this mechanical box where we start worrying about the swing itself and individual moves as opposed to hitting the ball, playing the game. I know there's a lot of different voices on social media, so it's a bit of an information overload, and there's a lot of, I'd say, not trustworthy voices out there, but you will be doing yourself a huge favor if you keep an open mind and try to have a broad understanding of hitting, not just selling out to one philosophy. I know this video might have sounded a little vague or non-specific at times. I could literally talk about this for hours. The bottom line is that everybody's different and every body is different. Whether it's hitting or throwing mechanics, there's a lot more gray area and a lot less ones and zeros than you might think. That being said, if you have any questions or anything to add, then feel free to leave it in the comments, and thanks for watching Templar Baseball.